I want to welcome you to a very special segment of Artists and Authors. I am sitting in the seat normally occupied by Carole Love, and if you notice, she is sitting in the seat normally occupied by the individual that gets interviewed. And guess what? We're going to interview her today. You know, I have in front of me, it's an amazing piece of paper with all the different accomplishments that Carole's been involved with. Carole, welcome to your show.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
My goodness, young lady, you have had quite a life. You are an author, an artist, you are an actress.
Costumer, teacher, producer.
Yeah, what in the creative industry haven't you done?
Well, I don't play any instrument.
Okay, well, we'll give you that one. But my goodness, what an interesting life you led.
Oh,
and I got to
wonderful.
tell you, right up front, because I looked at this beforehand, you had a role in one of my more favorite movies, Lady Hawk.
Oh,
You know,
I love that. I love it.
I don't know if you're aware, but Rutger Hauer passed this last week.
Oh, no, I didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
he did. He had a short illness, but you were in there. It's got to be a lot.
Well,
you were in
I was
a lot
hardly
of things.
in there. Just, you know.
You've done a lot of commercials, a lot of summer stock. Over your life, what's been the one thing that you've done that really feeds the fire within you, feeds your passion?
Acting. Acting is first.
Yeah?
Yes, that's who I am.
And you've done a fair bit of it.
Yes, I sure have.
What was the very first kind of breakthrough role that you got in?
Oh, into the business, it would be, I was living with a young lady, and she got an opportunity to be in a movie with Pearl Bailey.
Oh, my.
So then Pearl decided to take a tour out. So my friend was going to go on tour with her. And so I said to her, well, if anybody drops out or something, I asked her to remember me. She says, oh, do you want to go? And I said, are you kidding?
Yeah.
I was in there.
Well, there you go.
So I toured with Pearl, and that really got me in the professional part of the business.
That's great.
As a singer.
And you also went to the Pasadena Playhouse.
Oh, loved it.
And we talked a little bit about that before we came on today.
Yeah.
You know, the Pasadena Playhouse is probably not real well known to the rest of the world, but there are so many actors and actresses that have come out of there that have gone on to really great, large careers. And it struggled for a while, but I believe it's back in full force today.
Is it?
That's my understanding.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, and there was just, you know, the fact that you had the opportunity to go there, it's another one of those really unique and interesting things in your life.
Oh, it was fantastic. I just loved it. You see actors going down, up and down the hall, rehearsing, blah, 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 you know, and they had a lot of wonderful classes. They had a class in enunciation, which meant a lot to me because I could say words correctly, and they were teaching the American way of talking.
Right.
And so that was exciting, and they even had going with the swords and stuff like that. It was the most fantastic thing I'd ever done.
Okay, so we got acting, but that's not the only thing you've done. You are an artist. Matter of fact, you were currently working on a piece you were telling me before we came on camera. How long have you been painting?
Well, I'll tell you, I started actually when I went into the Air Force. And a couple of my friends sat for me. And
Okay, wait. I'm going to stop you right there. You went in the Air Force? I didn't catch that.
Oh, you didn't catch that? Oh,
okay, so
okay.
We'll come back to the painting. When did you go in the Air Force?
1950.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. And what brought you to enlist in the Air Force?
I wondered so many times. A girlfriend of mine were going to fooling around, and we were going to go in. Her mother didn't sign her, so there I was. And my God, I'm stuck on a train. What am I doing? What am I, you know? And I didn't really know a reason why, but for things that are happening to me now, it was God in action, because the VA has helped me so many ways, so many ways. And I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't gone into the Air Force.
So you are a veteran.
I'm a veteran.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
you
you.
for your service. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
So okay, now let's fast forward. You were in the Air Force and you decided to start painting.
Yeah. So I did some painting.
What was the medium that you first, was it oil or watercolors? What?
Pastels.
Pastels?
That's the first thing
Yeah.
I did those portraits in. And then later I moved up to Lancaster. I started doing China painting. And one of my China paintings got a prize, and I said, oh, good, that's what I'm going to stick with. It. So I've done years of China painting. I love it. You're painting, it's almost like watercolor, but China paints that you do on porcelain. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, you like doing that.
It's a wonderful medium.
Now, or is there a medium besides that you're working in today?
I'm working on an oil thing now.
And, between like pastels and China painting and all, there's a vast difference in the application, the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
Moving from one to the other, how'd that work for you?
It's very easy.
Yeah?
I've got 2 or 3. In fact, I have a couple of pastel and a couple of oils that I'm working on now, and I go back and forth.
So you're multi-talented.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I just love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and all of the shows that I did, I sang.
Yeah.
And musical comedy is my thing. Music, not opera or anything, but musical comedy. I just love it.
That's incredible, Carole. I mean, normally you sit in the seat and you interview your guests and you help them showcase whatever it is. And yet they've been sitting next to someone that has had such an incredible past experience in so many different areas of the creative arts. And one last thing I want to touch on, because we're probably wrapping up here pretty soon, but you are an author also.
Yes,
okay? So,
yes.
a singer, an actress, a painter, a vet, and you are an author. And you have a couple of books out, right?
Well, people used to tell me, why don't you write? I says, why should I write?
Mm-hmm.
And even Pearl Bailey told me you should write,
Mm-hmm.
So finally, I took a class in Women in American History, and the woman just was so exciting as a teacher that I said, there's a lot of women in the earlier part of the,
Right.
Before we became a nation, that were ignored. And I said, I want to write about those women.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I did, and it turned in to be, since it's such a long, from the Pilgrims to the war, it took me 4 books.
4 books.
4 books to do the whole story.
Right. And they're all available.
Mm-hmm.
And what are the titles?
It's the saga of Bridget and Amanda, and a story of 2 young women that were brought over from London, and their lives and their families.
Yeah,
Go down.
Volume 1 through 4.
And Volume 4 just got a great review.
Did it?
Oh, really? She loved the book.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a great part of history in our country where you're kind of right. Women, they're not well represented in the historical ledger, so to
True.
speak. So by right, even though it's a novel, it's you bring forth the things that they went through, their struggles, and how they overcame them. There was a lot that women did in the early part of this country
that's
that,
for sure.
again, they're not recognized for necessarily, but we wouldn't have been here without it. So
That's for sure. And I have these women all through the book that are true historical women.
Women, yeah.
I just put my characters into their lives, and I've been very careful about history. I've gotten complimented about that. That the history just flows in.
Yeah, that's okay. So, what's on the horizon for Carole Love?
Well, I'm going to try to sell my children's book too. It's Allie's turn, and it's about a little owl that has a problem. Here's his picture of her front page, and there's Allie and her the person who finally helps her.
Now, Carole, is this book in print or is it going to be out soon?
It's out.
It's out.
Yes, you can get
Allie's?
it through Author House or Amazon.
Amazon, okay. And it's for young people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's great. You know, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to sit with you and interview you so that people can know a little more about you.
Well, I appreciate it so much because I sometimes feel, you know, who am I that nobody knows who I am, you know?
Well,
No,
we know a little bit
they
more
know
now,
a little
don't
bit
we?
more. Thank you so much,
Well, thank
Steve.
you. And thank you again for allowing me to do this. This is great.
Okay, thank you.
Artists and authors. This is the lady. And she fits all of that and more. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this segment, and I hope you have learned a little bit more about this wonderful individual that normally sits in the chair that I'm in. And so we're going to call it for today, and I'll see you later on, and Carole will see you when the show returns next week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.